Janae Honest back with you. Get closer to March. That means we're going to crown a champion here in the Pac-12. Then it's on to the postseason. You're going to want to be a part of the action. We got you covered here on Pac-12 Network. But the stars shine even more brightly in person. So to get your tickets to be on hand at the Maverick Center in West Valley City, just outside of Salt Lake City, Utah, log on to pac-12.com/tickets. They're going quickly, as always. Maddie Dagan easing into her competitive nights. She was brilliant on the table, Janae.
I actually grew up with her and her sister, and they have always been so good at all of the events, and seeing Maddie really just thrive in this program and doing what she does best has been really, really cool, and we saw it today and continue to see it.
9.95 the personal best, just off of it. But when she was introduced, warm-ups, big crowd. I've had the good fortune of calling a few Oregon State meets here in Palo Alto, as is the case across the bay in Berkeley. The Dagans represent when they come back home to Northern California. We'll shift our attention to rotation 3. Stanford has also found the beam to be less than treacherous. You know, it's not that big, Janae. It's very, very narrow, I'm told.
Super narrow. Was my least favorite event.
Most people feel that way. I hold my breath half the time when you folks are up there being so skillful. For Stanford, number 24 in the nation, their NQS, just over 49. And Oregon State has been phenomenal on floor. UCLA now leading the nation in this event. Oregon State not too far behind, number 6 in the country on floor, averaging a 49.4. They have hit 49.5 on 3 occasions. Overall, the Beavs at 9-3-2. Mentioned the 2 ties. That leaves them at 2-0-2 within conference competition. Stanford 8-4, 4-1 in conference meets, looking to complete their first ever undefeated season here at Maples. If you know the history of Cardinal Gymnastics, they also had an undefeated year when they competed over at the more intimate setting of Burnham Pavilion in 2014. So this has been an outstanding start, and we have every expectation it's going to continue as Claire Dean put up the 9.875 on bars. Here on beam, the freshman has been equally proficient. A 9.825 Monday, personal best in her first year of college gymnastics. 9.875 the time before against Washington. They went back-to-back.
I would also love to point out how impressive it is that she is leading off on 3 events for Stanford. Great save on that series. She buckled down on her arms, but she knew exactly how to recenter herself to avoid falling. Had a chance to speak with Tabitha, and she mentioned that Claire is a real joy to work with. She has a high gymnastics IQ, which is really rare to see that in a freshman in a first year. Dismount, round off 1.5. Got those heels together.
She has a lot of family and friends as well. Not too far from home at Piedmont, across the bay. She competed for East Bay Gymnastics 2019. NorCal State Championships, came in second in the all-around and won the bead that day. You mentioned highly impressive that as a freshman, she's the leadoff performer in 3 events. That's a testament to how much this coaching staff believes in a young gymnast who is going to continue to get better. Second time tonight, here is Savannah Miller after she put up a personal best, 9.85 on bars. Another young competitor, the freshman from Waterford, Michigan, here on floor. She has achieved 4.99s this year, and the latest came last Saturday at Gill Coliseum.
Opening up with a double pike. She brings a lot of power to this event. But notice that her landings are dialed in. Beautiful combination pass, 1.5 to a front lay. She's going to finish off her routine with a double touch. Landing right on the money.
Oregon State Nation has traveled well. A lot of orange shirts in the crowd here at Maples, and they've had a lot to be excited about.
Watch this double pike. She gets so much height and dropping right down to the floor. And here's her double tuck, and it almost looked like she was about to stick it, but she decided to hop into that lunge just to make sure she was nice and steady.
Excellent way to wrap up her evening. Dean, a 9.775 for the only time tonight we will have a chance to witness Bella Onishko. She is 24 years old. She arrived on campus at the age of 22, has competed in a pair of Olympic Games for the Canadian national team, placed 8th on beam in the 2016 Rio Summer Games, coming off a 9.725 Monday career high 9.925 a couple weeks ago against Arizona.
Gonna do a front aerial to 2 back handsprings. She had a slight balance check, but since she did that double back handspring, she will get a connection for her series. Beautiful switch ring, just the most gorgeous toe point as well. Gainer pike off the end of the beam.
Well, technically, she's a redshirt sophomore. Her eligibility is ending this year. Red coach Tabitha Yim had so many wonderful things to say about Bella, and she'll be honored with the other quote-unquote technical seniors at the conclusion of the meet. One and done. This is her only routine, and she made the most of it.
She truly did, and you can just see how she was up on that beam, really enjoying herself, taking in the moment. She was smiling throughout, which you don't see also often on the balance beam, so it's really cool to see gymnasts enjoying themselves up there on that 4 inches, because it can be treacherous and scary.
Not if you're an Olympian, and she has all the skills and experience to lean on. Terrific moment for a player who will be graduating at the end of the competitive year. So Miller just off the personal best, 9.875 for the only time tonight. Here is Arani Young, the junior from nearby San Mateo, about 20 minutes north of the Stanford campus. A personal best last year in a high leverage situation, 9.85 in the NCAA regionals. And then she did even better 2 weeks ago in the tie against California on 9.875.
Double pike to start off, and I was even watching her in her warm-up, and each landing was so spot on, and it's really cool to see gymnasts really focusing on those little details, even in warm-up, because many times you'll see them run out of bounds just because it's warm-up, but not Ariana. Again, stuck. combination pass.
Well, she went 9-7 last week. That's going to be a much better score.
I was mentioning on her landings, she just drops right down into that lunge, but even as I was talking about the landing, she went into this double tuck and stuck it cold, which is really hard to do on the floor exercise. It's a spring floor, but she didn't even need to take that lunge back. Super impressive.
Very smooth, a lot of fluidity from start to finish. The Cardinals scores are building. Bella a 9.875 for the second and final time tonight. Ira Alexeva a 9.85 on bars on beam. 9.825 on Monday, career high 9.925 2 weeks ago against Washington on February 13th.
Beautiful double wolf turn right there. Ira's really settling into her role on the team. And she actually enjoys competing. You know, competition brings a lot of nerves into gymnasts, but not for Ira. Great flick lay, little balance check right there. Beautiful switch half, and even as you watch her up there on the beam, her work is classic. She does all the little tangible things. She brings quality and unique skills in her routines and sticks the landing.
And here come her teammates. They're thrilled with that performance.
I also love the dance that she includes on the beam. And look at this double wolf turn. Beam is already hard enough, but try adding that, which is a little difficult on the knees maybe.
I'll trust you. Well, we're seeing why. Ira, a reminder, born in Moscow, then immigrated to the United States in 7th, was a member of the Russian national team, another Volga product, that powerhouse gym in a Lone Star State. Enormous number for Young, career high 9.925. She earned that. That was a fitting score. Lauren Lech, second of 3 events. Carded at 9.825 on the vault here on the floor. She was out of the lineup last week. Sub 9.7 a couple weeks ago, but she's capable of greatness. A 9.95 end of January against Rutgers.
Beautiful combo pass, 1.5 to front full. We're also going to witness the most beautiful leaps I have ever seen in the Pac-12. She brings a lot of artistry to this event. Look at that. Double tap. She stays in bounds.
Yes, she did. That was elegant and exceptional.
It's sports fans built to
Taking another look at her first pass here. Combination pass. She does a 1.5 to a front full. Lots of twisting there. And then here she just didn't really absorb the landing, so she did have to bounce out of it, but luckily she had enough room. That could be a full, maybe even more than a 10th deduction. We'll see what the judges do with that.
9.9 for Ira. Just off the career high 9.925 a couple weeks ago against UW. An adult continues in the all-around. 9.875 on the table. Even better, 9.9 on bars. You recall a personal best 9.95 last week on beat back home for the Cardinals. They went up to the Northwest. They're very much at home in that gym. Brandon's from Southern California, Rancho Cucamonga.
Set a unique mount to start off the routine. Beautiful quick lay. She's very calm, cool, and collected up on this balance beam. Front aerial. And this athlete is also very diligent in her training. She enjoys the work and everything that goes into the process, which has helped her confidence increase. Beautiful jump combination. Did have a slight balance check there, but she holds on to it well. Maybe a round off 1.5 dismount. Had to take that hop back.
So it will not be as spectacular as a 9.95 on Monday, but still a very positive score.
Here's her jump combination right here. Split into a ring jump. Just a little off center. But you see those toes clinging on to keep her on the beam. Again, fighting for every 10th. This is a close meet. At least halfway we were.
Sub 9.8 for lunch. I mentioned Stanford being at home in Seattle. That's because they have 2 Seattle gymnasts. We watched that meet against UW. A lot of fans out there supporting what Maddie Burnett and Anna Roberts were doing. Cindy Gonzalez went 9.9 on vaults, floor. Her power is a major asset. Matched a personal best with a 9.9 last week against the Arizona Gymcats.
That's a beautiful first pass, and I love that she danced right out of it into the choreography. We're also going to see some stunning leaps from her. Switch half, exceeding that 180 split that the judges are looking for. She's only going to do 2 passes in this routine, but she'll get an extra 10th for doing a double flipping pass, double pike. Stuck that hold. I can't emphasize enough how hard that is. That is so difficult.
Lot to like about that routine. The latest reminder why Oregon State is number 6 in the nation on floor. And more to come for Sydney. We'll see her on beam in the final rotation.
Take a look at this double pike right here. Just landing straight up and down. Looked like she surprised herself a little bit. See it all over her face.
Big hug from Anya Chaplin, who was a brilliant gymnast at UCLA. So not the best performance from Brenna, especially with her very high level of expectations. I was talking Seattle. Anna Roberts was back home on Monday. Cardinal broke 197 for the first time since 2016 in a regular season meet. She continues the all-around 9.9 on vault, 9.85 on bars here on beam. 9.75 Monday. Anna's personal best of 9.8 came in the opener in Las Vegas.
She's going to back up and do her leap again. She had a balance check, so she needs this connection. So you can go back and do a skill twice, but you can't do it 3 times. So she's good to go there. Quick lay. Beautiful. Speaking with Tabitha, she explained that Anna is a phenomenal athlete in person. She's dynamic, she's artistic, and we've seen that on the events she's competed today. Beautiful side area with split jump. But this definitely isn't the last we've seen from Anna. She has yet to reach her peak because she will continue to get better. Round off 1.5. Beautiful.
Found her way after that moment of indecision. Was the best gymnast in the state of Washington last year. State champ in the all-around marquee recruit for Metropolitan Gymnastics.
There's her series flick lay. She throws her arms right down by her side to lock it in. Round off 1.5. Beautiful. And that's going to pick the pace back up after that 9.775.
Precisely what Tabitha Yim and the Cardinals were looking for. Their challenge is what you see in front of you. A couple 9.925s now on floor for Oregon State, as Gonzalez has a new personal best. Hagan flirted with a career-high 9.925 on the table, just off her personal best. Maddie now the grad student on floor, a 9.95 last week for a new career high.
So that she put her game face on before she stepped onto the floor.
But when you have that chainsaw in the background, you got to back it up.
Great leaps, a lot of amplitude on them. Double pike. Great landing. That was a great routine.
That was another impressive performance for Oregon State. They have delivered all season long on the floor.
And you can just tell that Oregon State has been doing a really great job working landing drills, because that's especially important for floor.
Roberts gets the Cardinal moving in the right direction. That's a personal best at 9.875. So we go from the freshman Roberts to the senior being honored on senior night, Chloe Winter, and she has been terrific tonight. 9.9 on vault, 9.95 on bars. Chloe's career high 9.925 a few weeks ago against Arizona.
Exceptional leaps. It's been really exciting to see her success this season. And as you mentioned, she's a senior, but this is really her first full year. Her freshman year was when the pandemic hit and cut their season short. And the same thing happened for the next year. She's also worked really hard with the new coach, Hallie Moset, on performance.
You know Hallie, your former UCLA teammate.
My girl right there.
Well, Chloe has persevered. A vault injury limited her effectiveness last year. Went 9.775 Monday.
Backhand spring, gainer back full.
Stuck that landing as the anchor comes through for the Cardinal. Appropriately, it's a senior shining on senior night. Well, when Maddie Hagan was competing, we talked about what she's been doing. How about a 9.95? The scores have been extraordinary for Oregon State. Maddie is the roommate of Jade Carey. with a perfect 10 on floor last week against Arizona. A perfect 10 tonight on bars. 9-9 flat on vault. Jade is tied for second in the nation on floor. NQS of 9.95.
Huge first pass, double-double. We've really only seen that a few times from high-level gymnasts competing in college. Another difficult combination pass coming up. She's going to do a front lay into a double pike.
Once more, the Olympic gold medalist shining tonight at Stanford.
Watch this first pass right here. And I really had to make a point to look up from my monitor so I could watch it live, because a double-double is so difficult and you only really see a handful of gymnasts compete that, even in the elite realm.
We await the judges' score. We can let you know that Chloe Wigner achieved a new career high, 99.5 anchoring the beam for the Stanford Cardinal. The buzz is building. Confirmation, another perfect 10 for the Olympian. Jade Carey, 2 more tonight with 1 more rotation still to come.
She's so focused on speaking to her teammate right now. I don't know.
Make it back-to-back perfect 10s for the consummate teammate as well. Jade Carey, absolutely sensational once more. What a joy it is to bring you one of the best in the world in our sports on Pac-12 Network.